y'all, it's your girl Arisza and I'm back and I have a different video for you today. Today I want to be a little transparent and I want to talk to you about how I scaled to 6 figures before using any ads and before burning out. Absolutely, it's possible. I know a lot of businesses think you have to do so much, this, to get to where you're trying to go, but I'm going to show you some unique ways that I was able to go back and actually get to 6 figures really quickly. I normally in my advertisement say that, less than 3 years, multi 6-figure business and that's multi, like close to almost $1 million. However, I was able to get to 6 figures in less than 6 months in one business and less than, about maybe 6 or 7 months in another. So we're looking at less than a year, 2 businesses able to scale to over 6 figures. Now, it took work, it took discipline, and it took a certain skill set. So I'm gonna break it down all in this video to teach you how to do this without doing ads and without burning out. And if you have any questions and you feel like you want to deep dive into this a little bit more and help your business level up, make sure you join the community. It's in the description right here on YouTube. If you go to the video and you go to the description, you'll see all about our community. It is a low cost monthly fee where you tap in, you jump in, you work with other like-minded entrepreneurs, and we're on the ride to entrepreneurial glory, should I say. Yes, we're learning how to scale really quickly. We're learning how to put systems in place. We're learning how to do all the fundamentals so you can get to where you need to go. So many people choose to do this alone, or they invest in these huge coaches where they meet one-on-one and they're charging them like hundreds and thousands of dollars to do it. So I'm talking about less than going out to eat with your family, or less than going to the movies, or less than a date night with yourself. You can tap in for a low monthly rate and join the wave of entrepreneurs as we get from here and we go all the way to the entrepreneurial bliss. Yes, that is the plan for this channel. So if that is something you're interested in, please tap in and join us on the ride. All right, without further ado, I'm going to talk to you really quickly about how I scaled my 6 figures. I have some notes here on my screen, so I'm going to be referring back and forth. So if you see me not looking directly at you, that is the reason why. I'm actually reading my notes and making sure that I don't skip a thing. So first and foremost, I want to talk to you about growth, how it takes intention and is not a hustle. So before I decide to do any type of business, I give it some thought. I think about the things that are going to help me become successful, the things I'm going to be able to utilize, who's done it before me, and how I can do things a little bit better. Now, ads can amplify, but only if you have the foundational piece in your business. So a lot of times people want to do ads, but do you have the foundation? When those customers start pouring in, are you going to be ready? You want to make sure you're doing things early on that can move the needle before you start making a huge investment on things that might not work and might put your business in a downward spiral, should I say. So let's talk about now what really moves the needle. Some of those things is number one, leveraging relationships. To me, that is huge. Relationships are gold. Being able to connect with people in your community, people that you worked with before, people who know you, and being able to kind of tap in and let them see how amazing you are. That is serving someone first and asking for the referral later. So basically you put your best foot forward, you show up and you show out, and then you build a reputation for reliability. People begin to see you in the light of, wow, I seen them at that community event, or they collaborated with that other company, or I know they work with a client, or they work with my friend and they said they got amazing results. So these are the things you want to do. You want to have that, like I like to call it, social proof. To me, that is the cream of the crop. And then you can focus on systemizing your systems a little bit sooner. I'll be honest, I started systemizing things a little late in the game, where I started having all these things happening and coming up and I'm like, oh, I got to create a system for that. Oh, I got to create a system for that. Oh my God, clients are coming in. I need to create a spreadsheet for this. Oh, I need to make sure the documents are checked off. Oh, I need to make sure these claims are submitted. Like, it was so many different things that I didn't realize that needed to be put in place. So you want to create a minimum viable system ASAP. That means a scheduling calendar. I don't know how entrepreneurs work in the big 2025 without a calendar. You have to have a calendar, some type of calendar or scheduling mechanism, should I say. You have a lot of tools out there. I have a CRM, which we'll talk about in another video, that is all inclusive. It has a calendar in there that I can sync with my Google. It does automations. It sets the client's information in the system from day one. I'm able to have a list of every client that's entered my practice over the last year, 2 years, 3 years, whenever I started using the system. And it collects the data. So I have the emails, the phone numbers. I can send them SMS text messages. I can send them emails. I can send them, what do you call those fancy things? Oh, like a blog post, or maybe like a newsletter. I'm sorry. I can send a newsletter and do a recap of the services that we provided each and every month, and it automatically goes out to the people who it needs to go out to. So those are some important tools and things that you can put in place that is automated from the jump, so you're not doing it after the fact. Trust me, guys, I've done a lot of things after the fact, and I can tell you that's where burnout and stress and overwhelm comes into place. Another thing is you want to have a way where you're doing your invoicing, like your simple software for creating invoice for clients, making sure they're able to show when they make a payment, able to get proof of what the services was that they provided, all those templates and things. You want to have that in place. Now, it also depends on what type of business you use, because if you're in the private practice or in the coaching business or something along those lines, you're normally using a system like we call it an EMR or EHR. Some people call it electronic medical records. Some people call it electronic health records. Whatever you choose to call it, normally you have that information, especially for your private practices. If you're a nurse practitioner, if you are a psychologist, a psychiatrist, if you're working somewhere in the human services field where you're providing a service to clients, normally you have to keep that information a little bit more confidential than others. So you have this system, this database that you have all the information in. Hopefully, if you're investing in that system, it works well enough where you're able to tap in and utilize some of those mechanisms, such as the invoicing and the software for templates and so forth. All right, you also want to have a client onboarding. Like when a client enters your system, they should get an email saying, hey, welcome to blah, blah, blah. Here are the forms we need you to complete to move forward. Whatever it is, you want to have those forms, you want to have those templates. If you're confused and you're like, what the hell is that? Or how do I go about doing it? You need to tap into the community. Yes, I provide all of that for, like I said, a small cost each and every month, but it's going to help you scale a lot faster with like-minded individuals, and you have somebody holding you accountable each week. Because I meet with them every week. So if they didn't do what they're supposed to do throughout the week, we're going to have some conversations. Yes. So make sure that you're able to do that. Another thing you want to make sure you have in place is your boundary burnout prevention mechanism. I know that sounds hard to remember and it's a lot, but basically you want to have a boundaries prevention method. That's all you want to have, because that's going to prevent the burnout. You want to set your clients, you want to set your session limits, you want to set the amount of events you're going to do. Whatever your business is, you want to have a limit on what you're going to do. Even if you got a steady flow of them coming in, you can't handle 60, cut it down to 30. Do what you need to do. And then block out CEO time. That is super hella important. I have days throughout the week where I'm not seeing clients. I'm not taking phone calls. I'm not scheduling nothing. No doctor's appointment. I ain't doing that with my kids, my husband, nobody. That is my CEO time. That is the time that I plan. That is the time that I put things in place. That is where, all the juices start flowing from my brain. And I'm like, oh my God, this girl is amazing. That's what I start telling myself in these meetings. Because sometimes, guys, I'm not lying. I come up with some hella amazing ideas. And I'm like, who are you? Who are you? Was it doing the RBLs this morning that helped you? Like, what happened? Like, were you lifting the weight? I don't know. It's just sometimes my brain is like shooting all kind of ideas out there, and I have to slow myself down and realize that, hey, Rome wasn't built in a what? It wasn't built in a day, but the way my mind be going, I feel like I can build it in 2. So realistically, you want to set that time apart, because that is when the juices start flowing. That's when I have my YouTube in the background. I'm hearing some stuff and I'm writing down my nuggets, and I'm like, I didn't do, and I'm writing them down. Then I'm over here talking to my assistant, chat. I call Chat GPT my assistant, because when I'm lost in thought and I have so much stuff going on, I use it more as a conversational tool. I know I talk about AI and I know I talk about how I can help you scale up, but I use different AI tools for different things. Chat, a lot of people use it for information. I know with the new Chat 5, it is amazing. It can analyze and do data and all that stuff. But some of the things I do, I just trust a little bit more of a comprehensive style, deep diving, deep thinking technique. And Chat has been showing me that with the Chat 5. But I'm still a fan of Chat 4.1. And that is who I do my conversations with. I'm like, look, you know me, I got this going on. This has happened this week, or my sales have dropped a little bit, or this has happened, or I'm hiring this person, or what tools should they do? Whatever it is, that mechanism of Chat knows me so well. And I'm talking about Chat GPT for those that don't know. And if you're in my community, I teach you how to actually use Chat to its fullest potential, not just not just talking in it. Like, you got to change the settings, you got to change the tone. We need to spend time so he can really know us. We have to train our AI, so to speak. So anyways, if you tap into the community, you ain't got to worry about that. I teach you all of that stuff too. But anyways, so back to what I was saying. When I'm talking to Chat, I'm like breaking it down. I'm like, look, I just hired somebody last week and I need them to get up to speed. And I got 6 other people that I got doing other tasks and other things for me. I can't afford to train this person and slow them down, but I can't afford for them not to be trained. What should I do? Chat is like, yo, didn't you just hire the other assistant last week that's doing similar jobs just for a different business? Why don't you have her shadow them and da 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 da? I'm like, God dang it. I'm telling you, it's amazing not having someone with all the emotions and all the extra fluff to give me the information so I can act really quickly. So that is what I do during my CEO time. When I'm planning, I'm not just reacting to what's happening. I'm really truly planning and figuring out how to get my business to the next level. And another thing is, baby, you got to learn how to say no. And you got to learn how to say no early. It creates a space for your ideal clients. When you can say no to the things in life that don't matter, you show up to the things that do matter. And sometimes I know that stings and that might hurt, but you have to learn to say no. That is probably one of the hardest things that I've learned at my big age, but I say it freely now. And if I just can't do it, I just can't do it. If it's not serving me and mine and helping me elevate and get to where I'm trying to get in my business, it's just not meant for me to do. You know what I mean? All right. And moving on, content and thought. Yes, content and thought leadership. This is hella important. You want to share your knowledge. Even if it's not perfect, you want to help other people. You want to go where your audience is. My audience originated in YouTube. YouTube is my favorite platform. As you can see, I'm talking to you here on YouTube. But I also use IG, I've used LinkedIn, I've used Facebook, I've used TikTok, I've used the different tools so I know what works best and who I serve. And if you serve, then you start to sell. I did not come out the gate selling anything. What I did is practice what I preach. I went out there and I provided the content for free. Let's talk about my test prep community because that is really newer and it's easier for people to connect with because some people have found me from that channel or some people are getting to know me from that space more so than other spaces that I've been in and did extremely well in as well. But I'm more known in this test prep space. So let's just take a moment and go back.
Amy is a small business owner juggling everything, from marketing to therapy to admin work. She's overwhelmed and struggles to grow her business while keeping up with client communication. Then she discovers Better Client Care, an all-in-one CRM that unifies her inbox, automates follow-ups, tracks leads, handles missed calls, and simplifies invoicing and reviews. With Better Client Care, Amy gets more clients, saves time, ranks higher on Google, and finally enjoys a dream vacation in Bora Bora.
So in this test prep space that I'm in right now, I have been doing test prep services for well over a decade now. I've been licensed. I just turned 13 years licensed. Yes, congratulations to me 2 days ago. So I've been licensed for 13 years. I'm licensed in 4 states. I have a private practice. I've worked for a mental health agency where I oversaw 150 employees, ran 3 different sites, helped the company make millions of dollars, not literally in time. We were pulling in millions a month. Like literally my site would produce anywhere between 300 and 400,000 a week. So I know how to deal with large numbers. I know how to serve large audiences. I know how to get in front of people and market. I know how to get in front of large groups and speak and get them to see the bottom line and to buy into what we're doing. So I just kind of took those skills and I started doing it for myself. Yes, that's kind of how I got here. All right. So anyways, we'll talk about that story another time, but just the reason why I'm bringing it up. When you know how to do something and you do it well, you serve others. So even in my community, I could charge 10 times the amount that I charge in this community and have 10 times the amount of people. I can run ads, I can advertise more frequently, I can do a lot of different things that I've done before and know that I can get there. However, I like starting small and serving people. I have a small group of people right now, less than a dozen, maybe about 8 or 9 people in there. And when we meet, I'm serving them and I'm serving them and I'm serving them. And as a result of me serving them and them getting what they need, they're then gonna go tell other people how the service was. And then that's how you begin to scale and grow your business. The same thing happened in my test prep community. When I started my YouTube channel, I was just producing videos, just being myself, giving the content, giving the sauce, not expecting anything from it because I knew what I was capable of. And I truly believe you do what you're supposed to do, the blessings always come. So what I did is I just continued to serve the people. And then I listened to the people. I listened to what they needed. And I realized that yes, I'm in competition with myself only. And I have a unique way of doing things. So tap into your uniqueness, girl, and figure out how you're able to make this a business and making it excel and exceed to what you want to do. So again, these are the things you have to do. Serve. So many of us are trying to put the cart before the horse, and I'm telling you, it never works. So you got to go back to basics, begin to serve people, begin to show people who you are and why you're amazing and why they should work with you. And when they're able to see that, it makes it so much easier for other people to tap in and want to utilize your services as well. Another thing when you serve people, what you do is you build trust. People begin begin to trust you because they see someone else has used your services. They see the benefits that that person got, and they're like, wow, I want to do that. Everyone I work with, I ask for testimonials. I have dozens and dozens and dozens of testimonials. And then I put all that information someplace, and then I'm able to add them in my videos. I'm able to use them for ads now. I'm able to use that on different social media platforms. But what did I do first and foremost if you don't take anything from this video? I served. Absolutely. I served. And as a result, I was blessed from the ability to serve people and take it to another level. All right. Now, some of the things you want to do before we wrap this video up, because I know we've been talking about a lot of different things, is you want to track what matters. You want to focus on real growth. You want to focus on how many sessions did you get booked this month? How many people no-showed? You want to also go inquiries. How many people signed up for services for our business this month? How many people want the catering services compared to last month? How many people enjoyed the food and gave us a review? How many people did we get from that? How many conversions? How many, not just the likes and the follows, but how many people converted? Like if you have 1,500 people following you, out of those 1,500, or at least 10% of them following you, and at least 5% of them following you towards your services and your business, that is what happens when you start measuring your metrics and understanding why it matters. There's people out there, man, I'm telling you, if you go to certain platforms, there are people out there that get thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of likes. And trust and believe, they don't have thousands in their bank account. They don't. They have a lot of followers. They have a lot of groupies. They have a lot of people who are just all over the stuff that they do, but they're not converting them. They're not really making that true transformation. And that's what this is about. So conversions doesn't equal likes and followers. You want to get what's measured. You want to be able to manage what's happening there. All right? Real talk. You want to go over the lessons that you learned. Burnout is real. You want to listen to the warning signs. When I'm getting frustrated and snapping off a little bit more than normal, because sometimes your girls snap off on a regular. But when I snap off a little bit more than regular, I'm like, look, girl, you need to take a chill pill for real. It's okay to pivot. Sometimes I've had to pivot from doing something I was doing and do something else and ask for help. Sometimes I'm telling my husband, like, look, I need you to help me out. All right. I need you to go and talk to these people and blah, blah, blah to these people. Can you toot to these people? Can you do? And then also deciding what works when you ask for help. For me, I've tried to ask for help with people that just weren't really feeling what I was asking them to help me with. So it's really important to find your team and to find people that you can tap in and to get assistance with others. So like for me, I don't necessarily ask my family to tap in and help me with anything business related. They help me with life related stuff. So, I got my 3 little fluff dogs, and making sure they get groomed and walked and cared for and all that stuff. Your girl used to have all the time in the world to do it. But right now I ask the family to step up. Hey, my dogs get walked 2-3 times a day. They spoiled. I know. I created monsters. But you can have someone else tap in and say, okay, you know what? I can't do that presentation or create that content that you want, but I can give you some more time and take the dogs to the vet, or I can step up and go to all the appointments that you have this week. Whatever it is, you get the gist. I'm making up things, but these are the things that actually work. And that is kind of how you prevent the burnout, because guys, burnout is real. So please listen to the warning signs, listen to your body, listen to your mind, and understand that. Understand it's okay to pivot. It's okay to adjust. You don't have to do everything a certain way, and you don't have to do everything the way someone else has done it. There's so many people who have the blueprint before me, and I take little bits and pieces of their blueprint and I've created my own blueprint. So be your own person, but tap into what works and what you like that other people have used and other people have been successful in doing. All right, last but not least, I hope this is really helpful. I want you to write in the comment section, what was your one growth goal? Just let me know one thing that you got from this video that you're going to implement and utilize, or that's going to help you see things from a different way. Just so I can recap and make sure that you all follow me, I'm going to go really quickly through the 7, 8, 9, 10 things that I discussed to make sure you follow me. Number 1, I talked about how overnight success does not happen overnight. I kind of jumped over that title, but that's what it was when I was talking about growth is intentional. It's not just a hustle. That is basically letting you know that growth does not happen overnight. It takes time. So you must think about that first and foremost. All right. The other thing that we talked about is leveraging relationships. It's really important to leverage those relationships you have in your life and be able to utilize them so they can be beneficial to not only the other people, but to yourself as well. Relationships are hella important. So make sure you have them in your life. Systemization. You got to systemize sooner than later. You got to put systems in place. If you don't have systems in place, you're going to burn out quickly and you're going to get really frustrated because you're going to have to go back and keep reinventing the wheel because you didn't take notice of what you did first. It'll slow you down a little bit, but it'll make it easier in the long run. Trust and believe it, girl. Been there, done that. Boundaries prevent burnout. When you can say no and you can put limits on things and you can set your CEO time, it will prevent you from burning out a lot faster. So make sure you're able to do that for sure. Content and thought leadership is so important to have the content, whether you're going to use Facebook, Instagram, IG, LinkedIn, Facebook, I don't care. Just pick a platform and go all in on that one platform. Make sure sure your audience is there. For instance, for me, I started out with YouTube, and YouTube is absolutely amazing because to me, it's the hardest platform, and I like to do things hard because then it gets easier as time goes on. That's just how my mind works. It's just the competitive nature. Kind of be weird. Some people like to start off and scale up. I like to start off big and stress myself out and go crazy and then kind of let things smooth out. But I'm just being real with you guys. Literally, YouTube in this journey has absolutely phenomenal. I have learned so many different things. I have studied so many different people, and it has been a blessing, but it has been some work. I would tell you that right now. So maybe your audience is on LinkedIn. Maybe your audience is on IG. I truly feel like my audience is on YouTube and my audience is on Facebook. Facebook is that community and that group of people that I kind of left out. But I'm in the auntie era. The aunties and the aunties. Like Oprah and them are my aunties. But for a lot of folks, I'm their auntie too. So I'm in that auntie era, and all the aunties are on Facebook. That's just being real. The aunties and the unks. So I tell my husband, I said, look, don't be getting it twisted. People calling me auntie now because you unk for real. So anyways, the uncles and the aunties are on Facebook, and they on YouTube too. They on IG, LinkedIn. We're everywhere. But the reality of it is you want to tap in and think about where are your friends, the people you socialize with. Where's your doctor? Where's your pediatrician, your children's pediatrician? Or maybe they're too big for the pediatrician, they PCP. Whoever. Where are those people hanging out at? Are they hanging out on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn? Do a little market and just figure out where they are. And if they're on YouTube and they're on Facebook, how are they using it? Are they looking at shorts? Are they looking at long form? Who are the people they're looking at? Who do they like? Who are they modeling? Who taps into their interests? Those are the things that you want to kind of look at early on when you start trying to figure out what avenue to maneuver when it comes to that. Of course, like I shared in the thought and content leadership, you want to serve. To me, that is the backbone of it. If you can serve and find that platform to serve your people, you're going to go hella far. And then you want to track what matters. You want to be able to track exactly what you're doing and know what matters. So this is the thing. If you're a caterer and you had 15 catering events for the month of March, how many do you have in November? That is what you need to look at. If you had 15 in March, you should have been able to do some things to scale, to diversify some of the menu items and things you're learning. So by the time November comes, you should be able to probably handle 50 catering events. Because you know what? Not just you. You're not a one woman or one man show. You have to put your team together. And as you start to scale, you have to have certain people in certain places so you can continue to scale. Because 15 might have been burning you out. But if you have some other people who've mastered the craft and you're able to do the things that you do exceptionally well and put other people in other systems, you can get there hella fast and hella farther. That is what you need to think about. All right. And then last but not least, we talked about the lessons learned. I've learned a lot of lessons, guys, in this journey. If you guys want to hear some of my lessons learned, just tap in the chat and just say, I need to hear the lessons learned for real, because those are the things that shaped me and those are the things that made me into who I am. And it's just been a lot of life lessons, whether it's been personal, whether it's been professional, all of that stuff has shaped me into being who I am, uniquely me. And I love every bit of me. That is one of the things that I know helps me get far because I have thick skin. It's not too many things you can say about me. Sometimes people comment and say some stuff in the chat. And I know people are like, you're in the customer service business. You need to be nice. I had someone say something in one of my other channels and I was like, look, you ain't gotta be here. And I'm just being real. You don't gotta be here. It's a reason when you show up, and I'm the person that's gonna advocate for other people too. When I'm on YouTube and I see somebody post something, they're vulnerable, and then people in the comment section going at them, I'm like, you can find nothing else to do in this big day and age than to go to someone else's page and talk about how you didn't like what they posted or like it. Leave. It's I realize I'm not for everyone. I realize that, early on and in this process that I'm not everyone's cup of tea. And I think that's what makes me uniquely me. Because when you realize that you are who you need to be and who you need to be for, that will take you hella far as well. So think about that, guys. So you also want to learn those lessons. And then, of course, like I shared, the last but not least, tap into the community. We're throwing it down. You get a chance to work with your girl, so I can give you some of my flavor and some of that down-to-earth business tips and all that good stuff. So just tap in. Join the description section. Even if you just tap in for a month and you just want to support the channel, that is a good way to do it as well. I appreciate you guys sticking with me, staying with me, and joining this journey. It has been an amazing adventure. And I'm so happy to hear how you've used certain skills and techniques that I've talked about in this channel to help you scale and get to the next level in your business. So if you don't mind sharing that in the comment section, it'd be greatly appreciated. And I'm sure you're going to bless someone else. That's your way of serving. Real quick, just serve in the chat, baby. That's how we're going to start and throw it down. All right. Thanks so much for tapping in. You have an amazing day and make sure you do so on purpose.